What's up, YouTube? Berm here with another post Road to Top 100 video. I just did my first post commentary video on the channel recently, and I don't like doing post commentary. I think it's less fun to watch than watching somebody battle in the moment and make decisions in the moment. And maybe you disagree. Let me know in the comments if you prefer or if it bothers you, post-com over live-com. However, due to my work schedule, I'm back at work. Lucky me. Genuinely, I'm lucky to be back at work. Because of my work schedule, it's easier to record battles without doing live commentary. Additionally, it has been so much better for my focus in-game. I've been able to actually perform better in battles, which is the point of this series. So please let me know if it really bothers you and if you'd like to see live commentary again. It would just mean, more workaround schedule-wise for me, but I'd be willing to do it if people hate this, if they hate this. But like I said, I said this in the first video, I'm not gonna pretend like I knew what was happening because it's post-com. I'm gonna react to these battles as if I was in the moment, okay? All you need to know about these leads is that it's a rain team, and so I wanted to start with my Trick Room setters. This team is really good. I probably should have already talked about this, but it's too late now. This team setup is the LIEPARD Reuniclus duo lead, in which you can set up priority Trick Room. Sounds crazy. Some people might already know what I'm talking about. But there's an incredible way in which you can set up priority Trick Room by using Max Guard with a Dynamaxed Pokemon. And if you are the slowest Pokemon to use Protect on the field, and you're Max Guarded, basically what it does is Trick Room then copies the Max Guard, but since it's not Dynamaxed, it is copying the move that Max Guard is based on, which is Trick Room in this situation. You'll see there that they went for a Dazzling Gleam into my LIEPARD. One of the fears in using this strategy is that Follow Me can technically fit between Max Guard and Copycat, meaning you would then Copycat Follow Me instead of the Max Guard. However, in a scenario like this, they're looking at Reuniclus, they're looking at LIEPARD, they're expecting probably a Fake Out or something from the LIEPARD, they're expecting Trick Room from the Reuniclus, so they are not going to use Follow Me. They are usually going to use something else. If they predict the strategy and use Follow Me, it would mess things up. However, I have found that Togekisses will not use Follow Me in that scenario. Indeedee might use Follow Me, but I continue to use this lead in the following battles. So you'll see how it works out and how it doesn't work out, and we'll get to that. For now, I'm in a very good position. LIEPARD went down. It's okay if LIEPARD goes down in the first turn. It just means that you can get in a Trick Room user or a Trick Room abuser like a Conkeldurr right now. My thought process in this turn was that I wanted to get rid of the Togekiss, and if it had a Focus Sash, I wanted to double into it to make sure that it was gone, because once the Togekiss is gone, they don't really have any threats for my Conkeldurr. Looking at their team, they have a Pelipper somewhere on their team that they could bring out, but we have Thunder Punch and we're under Trick Room, so not too much to worry about there. You'll see Seismitoad goes for a Liquidation here. Conkeldurr, super bulky. This Conkeldurr is max attack, max HP, Brave Nature, min speed. So, yeah, we're not going to worry about that too much. And we still have our Reuniclus on the field. What they have going for them is that they have not used their Dynamax yet. What they don't have going for them is that I don't think they have a way of reversing Trick Room. I think they're pretty much stuck operating within this. Rotom is an interesting element. Rotom can have Ally Switch. I run Ally Switch on a lot of my Rotoms. So I was concerned with that, and after seeing how little Seismitoad did, I'm now just weighing the options of which one do I need to get rid of sooner. Because I have Torkoal in the back, I'm thinking I don't really need to worry about the Rotom too much. However, Seismitoad could really mess up my Torkoal. Even though Torkoal has Solar Beam, it's really just like I'm in such a good position right now. Doesn't mean I still am at the end of this battle. Okay. I'm in a good enough position now that I'm really just picking what is the bigger threat to me moving forward. So we're going to go for the Mindstorm into the Seismitoad. Again, I just picked that because I figure if Torkoal needs to come out later, better we be up against a Rotom than a Seismitoad. Makes sense. Seismitoad goes down. Again, they still have not used their Dynamax, so that's something to keep in mind. You'll see that does very little. I'm actually surprised they didn't Dynamax their Rotom there. That is what I was definitely expecting while I was playing. And then they bring out Duraludon, which I'm assuming now they're going to Dynamax. It wouldn't make much sense for them to keep Rotom in for one turn and then not Dynamax it. So we're expecting the Duraludon to Dynamax. Hey, is my voice crazy unlistenable? I feel like my voice is so low and weird in a microphone that it might not be enjoyable to even listen to. I have a hard time listening back. Maybe that can weigh into your preference over whether I do post-com or not. Anyway, again, now it's just weighing the options between which is the bigger threat moving forward. If we have to bring in Torkoal later, which one would I rather go up against? And ultimately, I'm in a good position either way. The Duraludon is weak to Torkoal. The Rotom is weak to Torkoal. And all I have to decide is what I'm going to take care of right now. I opt to go after the... actually, I just missed what I just did. Wasn't paying attention. I did watch these battles before I recorded them this time, so I do have an idea of what is going to happen. However, I don't remember what happens exactly right here. We go for a Psyshock into the Rotom. Okay, yep, that does a solid chunk. And then I believe I Drain Punched into the Duraludon. And this is a really good showcase of how strong Conkeldurr is. This is why Conkeldurr is used so often in VGC. Under Trick Room, it is just a monster. It hits so hard. Max Wormwind's going to come out. They're most likely targeting Reuniclus, yep. And they're going to lower the attack of our Conkeldurr, but Reuniclus is also max HP and max special attack, and so Reuniclus is also quite bulky itself, and it's going to be able to live that. We have a Leaf Storm coming out into our Conk, but because we got the HP boost from the Drain Punch, we're going to be able to live that as well. And once again, you saw how much Psyshock did to Rotom. You saw how much Drain Punched into Duraludon. This game is pretty much a done deal. Yeah, pretty much a done deal. This really is a good showcase of how strong and powerful this strategy is. Being able to get up Trick Room turn 1 guaranteed is incredibly useful, because it doesn't matter if your Pokemon, you know, gets hit. Your Pokemon can get hit all you want, but it's gonna live because, or it's gonna get the Trick Room off before it dies regardless. The biggest fears moving forward, look how much Drain Punch does. Bye, Duraludon. The biggest fears while using this strategy, genuinely, is that you have to look out for 3 different kinds of leads. You have to look out for Follow Me users, because the way that the priority works, Max Guard will go first, then Follow Me, then Copycat. So Copycat cannot copy the Max Guard / Trick Room if Follow Me fits in between. So look out for Follow Me users. I talked about that at the top of this battle, that last battle. You also have to look out for Fake Out users, obviously, but there's a way around that as well. And there's different things you can do. And you have to look out for non-prankster taunt users. The reason why Liepard is such a good choice here is because obviously it gets Prankster Copycat. I don't know that anything else does, but it also can't be taunted because it's a dark type. It can't be taunted by a Prankster user. A regular taunt user can taunt Liepard, and that will put a wrench in the gears there. Looking forward at this battle, again, the only thing they really have for Trick Room is the Hatterene. So setting Trick Room early is a really good option. And I figure if they lead with the Hatterene, then we can always go for a Max Steel Spike turn 1 and sort of work our way around it. Another great thing about this this team, and I don't think I have an example of it in this collection of battles, but if the other team brings Trick Room and you don't want Trick Room up, they use Trick Room on the turn before. At last, it's got negative priority, so they end their turn by going for Trick Room. On the next turn, Trick Room is up, but you can just use Copycat and immediately reverse the Trick Room, and then for that turn, Trick Room is no longer up. So that's why it's really nice next to Venusaur. That's why Liepard's really nice next to Venusaur as well. You can literally just cancel the Trick Room if you want to. All you have to do is not protect on that turn. Obviously, then Copycat would not copy their Trick Room. So it's actually a really good counter to Trick Room as well, as being an incredible support to Trick Room. They lead with Darmanitan and Indeedee. Indeedee's a follow me user. So, turn 1, I am not going to go for the Trick Room strategy, the priority Trick Room strategy. I'm going to try and get rid of the Indeedee if I can. If Indeedee were to go for follow me, obviously the Copycat would not copy Trick Room. There's a moth in my studio. There's a moth in my studio. Oh, I got it. I got it. The Copycat would not copy Trick Room, and so we need to get rid of the Indeedee before we can do anything else. I think I'm fine on that, because if I can get rid of the Indeedee, they're not going to do a ton to Reuniclus with Reuniclus being Dynamaxed, and Liepard has the Focus Sash, and I don't think that Darmanitan's going to go for any multi-hit moves. So I'm not concerned about that. The Helping Hand Icicle Crash does do over half, which is, scary, but not a game ender by any means. You'll see that Indeedee actually lives there. It lives on 1 without a Focus Sash. So now I have to make the decision: do I try to kill Indeedee before getting up the Trick Room, or do I think they're just going to go for another Helping Hand instead of a follow me? It's really kind of a tough decision, but I end up going for the Trick Room here, thinking that they're probably just going to use the Helping Hand strategy again. It's sort of a risky move. However, I was lucky enough that they did go for the Helping Hand into the Darmanitan. What made this an easy choice in terms of that decision was that if I was right, not only would we get up Trick Room, but Reuniclus is going to protect itself on this turn, and Darmanitan's not even going to be able to knock out Reuniclus. And that's exactly what ends up happening. So it worked out in my favor in that scenario. Now I'm going to go for Foul Play into the Darmanitan. I'm going to try and get a Steel Spike off into the Indeedee. I just want to get more defense boosts on my Reuniclus so that it doesn't go down to this Icicle Crash from the Darmanitan. I think that makes sense. That made sense to me in my head. Again, this person did not go for their Dynamax yet, so that's something we have to look out for moving forward. However, getting rid of their Indeedee, getting off a Foul Play into this Darmanitan is going to be a great head start. And they didn't even knock out my Liepard yet. And with Liepard on the field, you can still do things. If Liepard does not go down, you can still do things like huge Foul Play hits, like that one. And you can also use Fake Tears, as long as Psychic Terrain's not up, to get rid of some Pokemon. And Psychic Terrain is up, so I can't do that right now. Additionally, and I think I might change this, but Reuniclus has Psyshock, not Psychic, so the Fake Tears play doesn't even really affect that. Doesn't even really benefit. I think I'm going to switch to Psychic. It would make more sense to be able to lower their special defense and then use Psychic instead of Psyshock. But I'm not in any danger here. I can just get rid of the Darmanitan with Reuniclus because it's the slowest thing in the field. And I can switch out into a Trick Room Abuser that is not Liepard, and hopefully Liepard can come back in when Psychic Terrain is no longer up. They pop their Dynamax, they're going into Rotom. Again, if Reuniclus goes down here, that's okay with me. Because Reuniclus has done its job, it's set Trick Room, and it's going to get rid of both Indeedee and Darmanitan. Which is, again, just you want to get head starts with this team. You want to get the momentum up. And this team also, by the way, is genuinely incredibly good in like the one-on-one, the best of one matchup. The best of 3, I don't know how it would fare. It might still do pretty well. I know Wolf Glick used this in the Collinsville regional, and he placed second, so he had a Liepard Reuniclus situation. So it might fare well in best 2 of 3, but in best of one, they don't have a second chance to be able to counter it. So if they don't predict what you're doing turn 1, Trick Room could just be up for the rest of the game. That's what happened in the last battle, and that is what's happening in this battle as well. Torkoal is going to come in and set up the Sun, and they're going to go out to Diggersby. I'm a little bit nervous that we haven't seen a Sash yet. I suspect the Ndidi had it, but it also means that this Diggersby could have it. So I need to be wary of that move forward because I do want Torkoal to live as long as it can. Torkoal doesn't love this matchup against the Rotom or the Diggersby, but if I can stop one Pokemon, I'm assuming the Diggersby is going to go after Torkoal and the Rotom is going to go after Conkeldurr. So I'm going to try and Solar Beam into the Rotom since we have that option now, and since they're probably going to go for a Max Geyser, I might as well try and get it off while we're able to do it. You can see me deciding between whether I'm going to try to double in to stop a Sash, or if I'm going to try and get chip off on the Rotom. I opted to go for the chip damage, and you'll see Solar Beam going off into Rotom right here, doing a good chunk of damage. But we can't do that again because chances are they're going to go and try and set the Rain here on this turn. Drain Punch comes out and actually knocks out the Diggersby. So the assumption that maybe the Ndidi had a Focus Sash was right. However, it could have been that the Diggersby had it, and you'll see how little Max Geyser does to Conkeldurr in Rain or in Sun. Conkeldurr, even after burn damage, is not under half HP. And now we can go for a Drain Punch into something, and hopefully make some HP back enough that we can maybe go for this Rotom. Things are not close. Like this battle is not over by any means. You'll see how little Sludge Bomb is doing to the Rotom, which is like definitely worrying. But look how much that Drain Punch does. It did so much more damage than I was expecting, and genuinely helps us so much in the game because it looks like Torkoal is going to be the one to have to finish up this game. And in Rain, Torkoal doesn't love that matchup. Obviously, Rotom is a special attacker, so even LIEPARD coming in here and having Foul Play as its only option is scary in an endgame if the Rotom is at high HP. Because Drain Punch did so much and knocked down into the red, even in Dynamax HP mode, Foul Play, we can just double up into this Rotom, and whichever one Rotom decides it wants to target, it looks like we're going to be able to pick up the KO. Let's see if that's true. We don't get to see if that's true. They're just going to cancel the battle. I think they knew it was true. And now we're under 3,000. These battles, again, in case you didn't watch the last video, these battles are not in order. I'm just picking some of the best battles that showcase the strategy I'm using. And since we watched 2 videos in which the strategy worked out, I thought it might be helpful to show a video in which a strategy doesn't work out. I don't love putting videos in which I win all of the games. Sometimes I want to throw in a video in which I lose a game. Hopefully that game I lost pretty closely, but other times I want to show ways in which the strategy does not work. And so moving into this last game, if you intend on using this strategy, and if, I'm almost at 200 subscribers, subscribe. Let's try and get there. If you guys keep watching these videos, when I make it to under top 100, I will post the team code for this team so you can use it yourself. And that's more incentive to be liking, commenting, subscribing. That's what YouTubers do, right? They add incentives to interact with their content. We're going to take on Leon here. Again, strategy doesn't always work. So let's see how we can work around that. They lead with Whimsicott and Charizard. Normally this is obviously a very favorable matchup because you know that you want to get up Trick Room. They led with a Tailwind user. Additionally, Reuniclus does not get hurt by Wildfire damage, and so what you have to assume is going to happen is that the Charizard is going to Dynamax. They're either going to set Sun or they're going to set Tailwind, and the Charizard's probably going to target the LIEPARD since the LIEPARD you know, usually carries a focus sash. That way you can knock out the LIEPARD after the first turn. But we're going to go for our strategy. We're going to max guard. We're going to priority Trick Room so that we can try and get a leg up on our opponents. This is not an... these Pokemon are these leads are very similar to each other. Obviously, Whimsicott capable of using Fake Tears with the Charizard next to it. And we are also bringing a special attacker that has Fake Tears. They have Tailwind to speed up their Pokemon. We have Trick Room to essentially speed up our Pokemon, right? That is ultimately what Trick Room is, if you really break it down. Yeah. Sorry, there's so many long animations, I don't totally know what to say during all of them. Reuniclus is going to get big. Once again, third time this video. Love seeing Big Jelly. And I've used Reuniclus with success for many different videos and many different teams. And this is clearly the most dominating mode to use Reuniclus in, which is scary. Reuniclus is definitely slept on in this meta. We're able to get up the Trick Room, but again, it doesn't always work. So I want you to keep your hopes low for the remainder of this battle. The Whimsicott's going to go for Moonblast. It's going to hit our LIEPARD. However, you notice that the Charizard actually went for Wildfire into Reuniclus, so that was lucky. You might be thinking, this is a great position to be in, and you're right. It is a great position to be in. We are at a great end of turn 1. Wildfire is not up. LIEPARD still has 1. And now we can go for a Fake Tears Max Lightning into the Charizard, but never. Whimsicott protects. Didn't need to. We Fake Tears into the Charizard. We Max Lightning into the Charizard. Never count your chickens. Never think that just because you are eliminating their Dynamax Pokemon, and I mean one hit eliminating their Dynamax Pokemon with a Magic Guard Life Orb for Reuniclus, -2 special defense with Fake Tears on the target. Never assume you're going to win this early into a match. Ever. Please, please, if you listen to anything in this video, let that be the lesson learned. Because now they bring out their Excadrill. Excadrill's, you know, pretty scary. Torkoal doesn't love going up against it. It doesn't hate going up against it, but we have a decision we have to make here. Who are we going to target? They protected last turn, so on Whimsicott, so they can't actually protect their Whimsicott. And now it's just a question of, do I want to try and get rid of the Whimsicott because I assume it has a sash, or do I want to get a foul play off into this Excadrill? Maybe I want to attack the Whimsicott and I want to get a Fake Tears off into the Excadrill so that Torkoal has a better shot of killing it next turn. That's really the decision I'm making here. Either way, it's you know, it's gonna be a tough decision. Again, sorry, not again. I didn't say this yet. Don't know why I'm saying again. Keep in mind that you're using a Psychic Pokemon next to LIEPARD, so always never just instinctively click Max Mindstorm. There are situations in which you might want to keep Psychic Terrain off the field to help LIEPARD use moves. Just wanted to keep that in mind. We go for the Max Steel Spike into the Whimsicott, and it actually didn't have a Focus Sash, so we get the +1 defense boost, and we take out the Whimsicott. They are obviously going to attack before our LIEPARD. Excadrill is slower than LIEPARD. Going to take out our LIEPARD, and now we're looking at a 3v2 situation with my Reuniclus undynamaxing this turn. So no more Dynamaxes in the battle. It's 3v2, and again, don't count your chickens, because things can always go wrong. If there's a way for things to go wrong, they will go wrong. Now I'm less worried about the Conkeldurr than I am about the Excadrill, so my thinking going into this turn is I want to get rid of that Excadrill. And since I haven't seen the Sash yet, Excadrill could have the Sash. You gotta keep your eyes on the Sash. One Pokemon, you know, 99% of the time, one Pokemon on their team has a Sash. Maybe they didn't bring it, but you gotta be ready for it. And if I let this Excadrill stay on the field with its Sash intact, then it could potentially take out my Reuniclus and my Torkoal, depending on what the Conkeldurr does. So I'm going to double into the Excadrill. We're going to go for Heat Wave. Heat Wave, you'll see, knocks Excadrill down to its Sash. and we do, well, you'll see. We do get the Psyshock off into the Excadrill. We're going to be able to take out the Excadrill. But again, just because we have 3 Pokemon left and they have only 1, I'm telling you, do not ever assume you're going to win a game. This might seem unwinnable for them, okay? And this is a good strategy, but it's not a perfect strategy. You'll see how much Drain Punch did there. We're going to go for a Heat Wave. We're going to go for a Psyshock. We're going to try to finish this battle up. And we actually do. There really isn't a downside to this strategy. It's kind of the perfect strategy, and it wins most games, almost every single game. And if you continue to support the channel, I will post a code to the team, and you'll be able to use it for yourself. So go ahead and do that. I'd appreciate it. And until next time, I'm Berm. See you later.